And once again, it's a European night that leaves a bitter taste. One of those nights when the Santiago Bernabéu, a theater of so many miracles, turned into a place of frustration, regret, almost incomprehension. Real Madrid, this giant of world football, this symbol of pride and dominance, bent. Not completely broken, but enough to worry, enough to disappoint, enough to remind us that even kings can falter. Because yes, we must call things by their name, Real Madrid missed their appointment. Once again, at a moment when a display of strength, a clear response, an assertion of authority was expected, it was Bayern Munich who took control. Coldly, methodically, almost cruelly, and yet, it all started with that unique tension of great Champions League nights. That electricity in the air. That feeling that something huge was about to happen. The ball moved quickly, the intentions were there, but very soon, one detail becomes obvious. This Real Madrid is not fully ready. Not completely awake, as if it still needed time in a match that never gives any. Bayern, on the other hand, didn't wait. High pressing, maximum intensity, aggression in every duel. The Bavarians imposed their rhythm as if it were obvious. And against that, Real Madrid seemed hesitant, imprecise, almost fragile. Their build-up play was messy. Passes lacked sharpness. Their automatic movements seemed out of sync. And already, the first shivers ran through the stands. When Kane sets up Upamecano, and he misses a huge chance just meters from goal, it's the first warning. A clear signal. Bayern came to strike, to hurt, to take this match, and maybe this qualification. But instead of reacting immediately, Real Madrid hesitates. They retreat. They suffer. Duels get rougher. Fouls pile up. The match tightens. And in this physical and mental battle, the Madrid side doesn't take control. They resist, yes, but they don't dominate. And that's already a problem. Because Real Madrid, in its DNA, doesn't settle for surviving. It imposes. It crushes. It makes opponents bend under the pressure of its history, its fans, its aura. But that night, none of that. A surge was needed, a reaction of pride. And it came, timidly. A few better constructed sequences. A few individual inspirations. Mbappé tries. Vinicius accelerates. The crowd wakes up a little. But in front of them, there's Manuel Neuer, a goalkeeper who embodies experience, composure, and authority by himself. And when he intervenes against Madrid's attempts, he sends a message: this will not be your night. Then comes that moment that swings a match. That cruel, almost unfair, but so revealing moment. A loss of possession, a rapid transition, a perfectly executed Bavarian attack. Gnabry, clear-headed, sets up Diaz. And there, silence. The ball ends up in the net. 0.41 stone minute. Real Madrid is behind, and it's not undeserved. That's what hurts. More than the score, more than the goal. It's the feeling that Bayern was simply better. More focused, more prepared, hungrier. At half-time, faces are closed, gazes are lost, and one question begins to emerge: where has Real Madrid gone? The return from the dressing rooms was supposed to be one of revolt, of awakening, of the famous, mental comeback this club has already shown the world. But instead, it's the blow. A mistake, another one. Carreras loses the ball under pressure. And immediately, Bayern punishes. Kane, clinical, precise, relentless, places a perfect shot at the edge of the area. 46th minute, 2-0. And now, it's no longer frustration. It's astonishment. How can a club like Real Madrid concede such a goal at such a crucial moment? How can they return from the dressing room with so little control, so little focus? It's a lack of discipline, a lack of clarity, and at this level, that never forgives. Bayern, on the other hand, immediately understands that the hardest part is done. So they manage, they control, they slow the pace, they let Real Madrid chase the ball, chase the score, chase their illusions. And maybe that's where the greatest regret is born. Because for long minutes, Real Madrid seems unable to react. Paralyzed, as if they no longer fully believe. Passes are slow, runs are timid, the energy isn't there, and yet, sometimes a single detail is enough to reignite a flame. Arbeloa's substitutions bring a bit of freshness, a bit of intensity, a bit of madness, and suddenly, something changes. Mbappe, him again, always him. In the 73rd minute, he reduces the gap. A goal that gives hope. A goal that awakens the stadium. A goal that reminds us that even in difficulty, Real Madrid is never completely dead. But this goal also raises an even more painful question. Why so late? Why wait until being 2-0 down to play with that intensity? Why not show this face from the very beginning of the match? That's the real disappointment. It's not just the defeat. It's the way. It's the feeling that Real Madrid played below its level. That they let an opportunity slip. That they gave Bayern a victory that could have been avoided. And now, everything will be decided in the return leg. A difficult mission. A perilous mission. Because Bayern will have the advantage. Because they will have the confidence. Because now they know they can beat this Real Madrid. But beware. Because if this night is a disappointment, it could also be a wake-up call. Real Madrid has already proven in the past that it knows how to rise from the ashes. That it can transform pain into strength. That it can write scenarios no one dares imagine. But for that, another face will be needed. A real one. Not tonight's. Intensity will be needed from the first minute. Precision, character, rage. They will need to play like champions. Not like a team waiting. Because the Champions League doesn't forgive hesitation. It rewards the bold, the brave, the relentless. And tonight, Real Madrid was none of those. That's why it hurts. That's why this defeat leaves a mark. But that's also why the return leg will be explosive. Because deep down, despite everything, despite the mistakes, despite the frustration, despite the disappointment, the story is not over yet. Thank you for watching the video. I'm counting on you for subscribing and sharing.